Hello, hello, welcome back. We are going to do 2.3 inverses of matrices here. First, some warm-ups. Give these a shot on your own as usual. And the answers will show up in 3, 2, 1. And here they are. Exercise 1 should have been pretty easy, hopefully, right? The number x is 1/5 or 0.2. So we're going to see that the number 5 is essentially an invertible real number, but the number 0 that cannot be multiplied by any other number to get 1 is not invertible, according to this definition we'll look at in a little bit. This was just a little preview of that. Now, exercise 2 is a lot more involved. For A, hopefully you got that x1 is the vector 1, -1, and x2 is the vector 1, -1.5. And when you put those in a matrix X here, like so, and you multiply A times X, what you get is the identity matrix. And maybe that's not too surprising. Maybe you were surprised. If you were, be honest and say yes. But remember the definition of A times X is the matrix that has AX1 as the first column and AX2 as the second column. And we just solved the equation that AX1 should be equal to E1, right? So the first column of AX1 should be E1. And likewise, we solved this equation to make it so A times X2 is E2. So yeah, we got what we should when we did this matrix multiplication. Now part C, when you multiply it in the other order, turns out to be the same thing. Remember, usually in the last section, when you do A times B, you usually don't get the same thing as B times A. But in this case, you do. So maybe that's more surprising. And part D is true because how did we solve these equations? You start with this augmented matrix. The augmented matrix A augmented with the y vector you're trying to get, which is E1 here. And we row reduce it until it's in reduced echelon form here. And here we are with our two pivot positions, and it basically says the first entry in x1 is 1, and the second entry in x1 is -1. And so A is row equivalent to I. Yeah, we did that. And the row operations that reduced A to I are the row operations that tell you how to get the solution, x1 here. That reduced E1 to x1, right? And these row operations likewise reduced E2 to x2, and that's how you solve that equation. So that was a preview for the reasoning we're going to use later on in this section. And in the next video, we will look at what are inverses and what are some basic things we know about them.